Team banned.
There we go. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another evening of Telkom Do Gaming Summer Premier Playoff action. This is going to be Damage Control versus Veneration Esports in the Summer League Premier Playoffs. Sponsored by Steel Series and Aces, hosted by Telkom Do Gaming.
Reserve time.
Veneration Esports had a double-header today. They just lost to a team.
Radiant team banned.
If you give me a second, I will. That match was casted by GPM. I'm sure he'll host it up on his channel. I'm not sure if he's casting this game as well, but let's have a look. I believe it was. I had no idea who they were actually playing. I'm not sure if it was just a friendly, but going into the game,
5 seconds remaining.
we've got Damage Control first banning the Lycanthrope, and Veneration Esports are going to follow it up with the Ember Spirit. So pretty standard bans coming out so far.
The green team's banning someone now.
And Veneration Esports, obviously good players coming out of their team. Strider, Death Cookie, Wolf, all familiar faces. Perfection, he may be under spoof. Maybe, I know that there may be some roster changes happening in this team since I last saw them.
Bad dudes banning someone now.
And I think there has been. But anyway, moving forward, Ancient Apparition is going to be the final ban, and from Veneration Esports, and Damage Control are going to follow it up with an Invoker. So pretty standard bans coming out for the most part at the moment. That does leave some picks in the pool. We've got Batch Rider is still available, really popular pick in this version. We've got
5 seconds remaining.
Centaur War Chief as well, Dazzle. So some fairly strong picks coming out,
Reserve time.
or at least available for the most part. So it's going to be interesting to see what the decision is going to be here for Veneration Esports. They are into their overtime for this first pick, so, and it's going to be a Vengeful Spirit. So Vengeful Spirit's got the point stun, got Wave of Terror, is a really good roam hero. Just grabbing a couple of smokes early, can gank into the mid lane, maybe grab up the zero, the first rune, getting themselves an easy kill. Not your most common first pick by any stretch of the imagination, but Strider does know what he's doing, so I imagine that there's a plan behind this. Of course there's a plan behind this, it has to be. And we're going to see Viper come out from Damage Control, and they're going to follow it up with a Possum, so
Dire team pick.
no supports for them as of yet. Yesterday they did run the Dazzle Treant combo, quite famous. EG ran it a lot during Starlight, and Veneration Esports are going to pick the Luna up as a carry, so they're going to go for the double aura coming out, double damage aura, Vengeance aura, obviously 36% damage, extremely significant. Luna Blessing, giving 38 damage at max level to all the heroes on your team, also extremely good.
Seconds remaining. Bad dudes banning someone now. Radiant team banned. Radiant team pick.
I like the bads coming out here for both teams. Bristleback obviously is a really good combo hero with the Viper, being just able to slow everyone down, get a couple of stacks of that quill onto everyone. Does really good in keeping keeping those elongated fights. And Viper and Bristleback are both fans of both. Apparently you can struggling to hear me. Interesting. Okay, let me just try to sort it out. Give me a second.
Radiant team pick.
Okay, that should be a little bit better. Hopefully. Sorry, I hit 1,000 views on my YouTube channel. I'm attempting to record a song, and I was playing with my microphone levels to try and get the distort levels down. So, sorry if you were struggling to hear me. You should be able to hear me a lot clearer now. So, Lich is going to be the pickup for Veneration Esports, so that's their support combo, Vengeful Spirit Lich. Lich does well just to keep the lane back, keep it in control, provides that frost armor, which is works on ranged heroes now as well, recently changed, so really good hero. Could be in the off lane, but I suspect that it won't be. Vengeful Spirit Lich and Luna make for quite a scary aggressive tri lane actually. If they decide that that's the way that they want to go, still entirely possible. Nyx Assassin going to be the pickup, so Bane, Nyx, Nyx Assassin might be the off lane, but could be a support here as well. Mirana, Bane, Nyx Assassin could be quite a good tri lane. The Bane Potsum combination obviously really strong. Sleep into arrow, difficult to miss, unless the other team is fairly proactive about getting that sleep off of their team. And Nyx Assassin obviously really strong. And Veneration Esports are going to go for Slark, so this is most likely going to be their mid hero. Can go in the off lane as well. Loader had a very interesting series with Slark against Roxkiss earlier today. I don't know if anyone was watching that DTL series. Absolutely mad. It was one of the most exciting series I've seen for a while. I think AC's voice was hoarse by the end of it. He shouted for the better part of 20 minutes, but excellent game. Excellent set of games actually. I suggest you watch the Roxkiss did really well.
Reserve time.
And according to AC, the teams just went ham. The teams just went ham! Which is exactly what happened. So... Anyway, Evil Librarian sitting out for this one. He played against... in the DC.Dota this time. Julian Assange Nyasha, aka Gridlock, editor of Telkom Gaming, is going to be joining in the fray for this fight for DC.Dota. Most likely taking up that support role. Just waiting for the final bans to come out. Puck.
Dire team ban.
I actually think that is a really good ban. Puck has been thrown to the off lane quite often actually of late. Funnick, amongst others, proving to be a formidable force on that off lane Puck. So damage control obviously thinking that could be an option. They could be throwing the Slark into the off lane, but the Puck middle. So I mean, the lanes are still fairly open for both sides. I think the Viper's going to be middle, which is definitely the most likely the lane that's set in stone at the moment. We have seen stranger things happen though, so Clockwork going to be the final ban from Veneration Esports. So they think that Nyx Assassin is going to be a support hero, and I don't see why it wouldn't be. So just waiting for the final pick to come out here for damage control. What are they looking for? Something with a little mobility wouldn't do them badly. Bane and Nyx Assassin, and Viper, not the best in terms of escape spells. Mirana's obviously got that leap. Vengeful Spirit can help assist her team if the Luna's in trouble with a swap. Slark's obviously got that pounce to get out, so... Centaur Warren has just been completely ignored. I'm really surprised that he hasn't been taken out. I mean, against heroes like Slock, who don't have much of an HP pool, I mean, can be fairly rough. So, Naga Siren. We're getting Art Easy style up in here. So that Naga Siren could be a potential middle, could be a potential safe lane farmer. And Veneration Esports going to follow it up with a Shadow Fiend. Interesting picks coming out from both sides here. So, we're heading into game as the guys pick up their heroes. This is Veneration Esports versus Damage Control in the Telkom Dota 2 Telkom Do Gaming Summer League Premier Playoffs, sponsored by Asus and Steel Series. Gosh, what a mouthful. You are joined here by Richard DeMoNiK Sjoberg. If you enjoy listening to me, please feel free to like me on Facebook at facebook.com/DeMoNiKGoesGaming, on Twitter at DeMoNiKZA, and on YouTube at youtube.com/DeMoNiKZA, or you can search for DeMoNiK Goes Gaming on YouTube. I put up some games and other stuff on there. So, introducing the teams, just going to do this so I can do that. Perfect. Excellent. Introducing the teams. On the side of DC.Dota, we're going to have Hellhound heading towards the bottom lane on that Viper. We've got Phobia heading towards that top lane. Looks like we're going to have an aggressive tri-lane coming out here on the Nyx Assassin. Pac-Man going to be taking up the role of that support Bane. Style, usual mid player, is going to be heading towards the top lane, and we're going to have Gridlock taking up the role of that mid Naga Siren. And we have something interesting going on here on the side of Veneration Esports. We've got Strider on the Lunan, Death Cookie on the Lich, Wolf on the Venge, and Chidoi on the Shadow Fiend, and Perfection, who's going to take up the role of that Slock. Some pots going off here. They're trying to get this early one rush. This could be huge if VnR managed to get this without DC knowing. The level 2 in lane is just so disgusting. They've got 18 seconds. They're going to be late getting to the lane, but this is definitely going to be dropped. Perfection is stunned. He's just going to be quite careful here. Still got the aggro on him. So as we hear the sounds go off, DC don't know what's going on at all, and Chidoi's going to pick that up. They gave the so supports went out the way, gave the XP to their cores by the looks of it. So we've got level 3 on the Slock, and level 1 on the Lich, and level 1 on the Vengeful Spirit, but our cores, level 3 on that, level 3 on Chidoi, who's doing just fine in this mid lane. And immediately a good start coming out from VnR. It looks like VnR are possibly going for a dual lane setup. Wolf has picked up, he's got 2 sets of sentries on it, just picked up the haste route. Maybe looking for the level 1 gank. Strider is going to catch the sleep. Is the arrow? The arrow is coming from afar, but the stun perhaps a little bit slow, and Strider's going to manage to get to safety. This advantage in the mid lane is going to be difficult for Julian, Asang, and Yasha to keep a hold of, just because of that level 3 gives him additional souls, gives him that second level in raise, which he should be picking up fairly soon. This aggressive tri-lane is just going to sit for the moment. Don't think Strider's in any sort of trouble here. He's got 2 levels into that aura, so he should have no problem just last hitting at this tower. And with the Lich in lane, should be having no problem. Or Julian is saying, oh, 36 HP he managed to get away. He's got a solve, so he's going to be fine for now. Extremely close. Looks like Strider got muted again, but Death Cookie, the support's doing well just to make sure that arrow doesn't hit that they're carrying. Looking at the off lane, it's going to be Perfection against Hellhound, so Slock's not going to have the easiest time here. And we can see that it's just that, but he's going to be fine once he gets up some levels. So the Shadow Dance provides plenty of HP regen, so you can just sit back behind his tower, get a couple of levels, HP regen, and then come back to lane, and it'll be quite difficult for the Viper to kill him. Do we have a bottle? There is no bottle on the Naga Siren yet. He's only got 3 crew kills to his name. The real big winner here is actually Shadow Fiend, who's gone to pick up this rune. He's got 12 souls in the bag, so he's doing plus 24 damage. Julian is saying actually he's got that poor man shield. I'm not sure how much help it's going to be against the razors. We've got lots of pings going off. It looks like the Radiants managed to get off a pull here. Phobia doing well, just to sit on the high ground. Some harass is going to go off, but it looks like VnR are going to be able to pick up this kill. Well, I mean, at least these kills in the Ancients. I really like this Aegis on Chidobe, just to make sure that even if he dies early, there is always the possibility for a gank coming out from the Bane and Next Assassin. He's not going to lose those souls. They're going to have to kill him twice if he wants to die. At least in the first 6 minutes, which is exactly when these heroes want to be ganking. It looks like they've popped a smoke here. Deciding whether or not to go towards that mid lane. To be honest, I think they should just wait for the Aegis. It looks like Chidobe is going to be in some trouble here. Oh, are they going to be able to get the chicken? They're not. The net goes off. The stun goes off. Pac-Man is in position, but doesn't have that much mana in him. He has to sap or sleep, but not both. Chidobe throwing some razors. Those razors are at level 3. He's got a couple of bottle charges, plus the Aegis in the bag. Misses one, lands the next one. 4-second sleep on him, so not going to be too much of a problem, and he's avoided that gang just fine. And he's picked up the haste rune in the top lane. This has left Style open to quite a lot of harass. He's having to use quite a lot of his regen down here. The big winners so far are definitely the Viper, doing well. He's most likely going to be the mech carrier for his team. And Nargasiren's only sitting at 500 gold at 4 minutes into the game. Not the best. He really needs just that 150 gold to get that bottle. We've got the upgraded courier, but the power of the Naga in the mid lane comes from being able to spam that Riptide, which is something that he hasn't really been able to do yet. And with 1 level on Mirror Image, I mean, if he tries to spam those Mirror Images, they're just going to give to this almost level 7 Shadow Shaman. So arrow goes off on the top lane, not landing anyone. Very static at the moment. Strider, 952 gold in the bank, managed to get up a pair of boots. Phobia doing what he can to scout out the bushes here, but considering that this is an aggressive tri-lane, they are. It looks like Pac-Man actually might be the first blood here, and he is going to be. The stun goes off. Arrow does land, but it looks like Style's going to be another kill. That Strider has absolutely no fear. Just waiting for the shell to go off. Another stun goes off, and that's going to be a double kill. And in the meantime, it looks like Chidobe and Slark have managed to pick up the Nargasiren in the mid lane. We did see Slark pick up that smoke, so he obviously used it just to get himself to the mid lane without being seen. And suddenly, VnR are suddenly looking extremely good in this game. Sitting up at 3-0, 5 minutes in. Luna's managed to pick up his treads, so he's going to be a little bit tankier. And then now it looks like the no smoke on Death or Wolf Cookie, so they're not going to be ganking quite yet. We might have a smoke on the way on the chicken. No, just some warning coming up from Wolf. Those kills obviously giving him plenty of gold to get that done. So we should see DC losing some vision sometime soon. Julian Assange and Yasha did manage to pick up his bottles, so he's going to find this lane a little bit easier. But I think he made... Ooh, Raze misses. Good dodging from Julian. And Chidobe's got to be careful here. The Aegis is off. And he's going to be in trouble. Net goes off, and Hellhound's just going to give him. So good kill coming out from DC.Dota. Had to use all 3 of their cores. Style sitting down here, as well as Hellhound, who's now left this lane. So Slark's going to be able to get a little bit of farm now. He's sitting at 8 and 1. Stun misses in the top lane, so... Nothing there as of yet, but I don't think they would have been able to kill him anyway. Slark almost up to his trades actually. He's not doing too bad. 956 gold and 1000 gold in the bank. So he can pick up those trades if he wants to, maybe get a set of phase boots. Depends how he's feeling really. Pac-Man maybe he's in trouble here again, but he's got to manage to get to safety. They are looking for another kill here. And DC have low vision on the map right now, 7 minutes in. So there is another set of wards up. We should see a set of wards coming up. Coming on the courier, so they know that they have no vision. They need to get it. Need to get that as quickly as possible. Good warding from here. They're going to see everything that's happening in this tri lane. From DC, VnR that is. So Death Cookie just going to stack this pack. No stacks for the Ancients yet, so we might see a early Helm of the Dominator come out from Luna, sitting at 1,200 gold. Lots of pings going off, but it looks like Death Cookie's going to manage to get that sentry. And both wards happen to be in exactly the same place. Quite funny. Here's some razors going off. Death Cookie gets slept. Pac-Man might find himself in a lot of trouble. Stun goes off. Arrow lands on Death Cookie. We've got 4 from VnR here at the moment. Chidoe has picked up his Midas. Sleep is going to go off just to make sure that everyone gets away to safety. And VnR are just going to back off for now. Viper's well on his way to Mecca. He's got the Buckler so far. To be honest, he should just be sitting down at this bottom lane. Perfection's getting far too much farm. He's managed to pick up Treads. He's got himself Orb of Venom as well. So suddenly his mid game is not looking too bad at all, considering that he had 0 CS after about 4 minutes. So as soon as Viper left this lane, this just opened up the space for Perfection to farm. And we've got some action going in the top lane. Looks like Wolf is actually going to be the kill. Hellhound. But Strider is going to remain completely safe. He is just coming up towards. I mean, that's 4 heroes that were used to try and kill just one support hero. He's got if Strider actually had 1 level on Moonglaves here, he would have been able to farm this back quite easily, I'd imagine. But I reckon he's just going to wait for his support. Looks like we might have another sentry go down here. Nope, no sentries. Probably flying out in the courier, yeah. So both supports are sitting under full vision here, but they want to make sure that this ward goes down. So Julian Assange and Yash is going to manage to pick up his first rune for the game. And Hellhound has settled his way bottom, and he's managed to see he's almost got his mech at... Probably could have had it even earlier than he did. Chidoe just threatening with his ulti. Invis is going to come out from Gridlock here. Got lots of pings happening. Looks like we may have some action sometime soon here in the top lane. Stun goes off on Strider, but Arrow's going to clean up miss, and now Pac-Man's going to find himself in a lot of trouble. Stun goes off, and one last hit from Strider is going to ensure that kill, and suddenly this tri lane's in a lot of trouble. Hellhound once again has TP'd up to this top lane. Ulti goes off onto Strider, another stun is going to go off onto Hellhound, and suddenly he finds himself in a lot of trouble. Don't forget this; these are 3 ranged heroes here with 4 levels onto Luna's ult, onto Luna's damage aura. So, oh, good carapace from the next assassin, but he's going to go down anyway, and really messy fight. So we've got Pac-Man's found himself up here again. Style is on absolutely no HP whatsoever. The net's probably going to come out just to ensure... Perfection is going to get up to the high ground with the pounce to ensure that his own safety, but is still looking for that bottom. Might find himself in some trouble now as he gets spotted on the high ground. Julian Assange, 2 seconds till that net. Is he going to use the ensnare? No, he's just going to back away. He needs to get up his gold as soon as possible to try and get himself to that Radiance. 11 minutes in, 630 gold. We're not going to see that Radiance anytime soon. We're probably looking towards a 22-minute Radiance at best. So Naga still has a lot of farming to do. But huge fight. VnR 64, looking at the golden XP graphs, heading towards just after the 12-minute mark. It's heading deeply into VnR's favor. 5,000 XP, 5,000 gold, so things going firmly into the favor. I mean, that partly is due to the early Roshan. Roshan is up already, so this is going to be the second Roshan for the game. And Star Marana actually managed to pick up Strider here, so good kill from coming top lane. I finally missed a kill. And Chidori extremely low. He's picked up Boots of Travel and a Hand of Midas, so he's gone extreme greed here. Phobia managed to pick up got his in Vendetta, but Arrow is just going to miss. I think if DC had just a little bit more patience in this lane, they probably could have gotten another kill or two. But Viper once again back down here. I don't think Perfection is that scared anymore, to be honest. He's managed to get level 11. He's now higher level than the Viper, actually. Wow. Viper is the big winner on CS, but in terms of levels, the Slark doesn't do too badly at all. And he's got 1,500 gold to his name, so we may have some action coming out here. The Death Cookie pops a spam. Doesn't have enough for his... Oh, Luna ulti's going to go off, which is going to get Carapace. The stun immediately goes off on Hellhound as he TPs in. Moonlight Shadow's gone in. Sentry goes down, so they are going to be able to see these heroes as they come in. They've noticed that there are in fact 3 here. Strider's just going to get his way out. Wolf is going to walk around and manage to actually get the Bane. So support for support, and a lot of ultis used, but pretty much for nothing at the end of the day.
Yo, green dudes, something bad is happening. In your bottom.
So much so that the Slark is actually going to get this tower kill pretty much for free here. And that puts him up to 2,400 gold, so he's feeling really good about himself. Mech is up on Viper, so they are going to have that for the next fight. It looks like they're just going to stick the Viper down here, and they realize that the Potom probably needs a little bit of farm for herself. 2 heroes under cover of Invis middle, but Chidori's just happily farming the forest. It is giving Julian a sanity. Yeah, she's up to 1,000 gold, but so working towards his relic. But looking at the net worth, we can see that VnR are clearly leading this race. Just the Viper sitting amongst the 3 cores of VnR in terms of the net worth. Big winner at the moment. Obviously, the Midas. Perfection may be in some trouble here. He's just going to be able to get into bush. And Arrow is going to spot him, but do they have any tangos? They've got some tangos, so he may actually be in some trouble here. This creep is doing really well to Skype him, and Perfection is just going to TP. So he's going to be perfectly fine. Good reactions from him to ensure his own safety. He's now got 2,700 gold in the bank. Are we going to see a Radiant Slark maybe? I mean, he must be looking towards some sort of item.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Got lots of pings going off here. 67 the score. Strider looks like he's coming towards them. They want to put some pressure onto this mid lane. And take some T1 towers. Clips is up, but Strider level 8 at the moment, so no level 2 Clips just yet. And they're going to start VnR pinging the rush. So it looks like they want to go for the second rush extremely soon.
Radiant's middle tower has been denied.
DC must realize that something's up. I mean, there was a Trilane aggressively defending this top tower, and they've managed to take it with absolutely no defense whatsoever. Meanwhile, VnR are in the rush, but doing what they can. Oh, DC must know that something's up. They've got vision in the jungle, and Sleep's gonna go off just a fraction too late. So now Julian Assange has to run for his life. He's managed to pick up another 1,000 gold, so that 22-minute relic is still looking pretty on track for him. Looks like Perfection's actually going to go for the Orchids here. Picked up 1 Oblivion Staffs, picked up the Quarterstaff for his second one. Lich in the meantime, he's working his way towards that mech. We've got an Eagle Song up on Chidori, so he may go for a... what is it called? Got some action middle. Perfection's going to pop his ulti and the Dark Pact just to get himself to safety, and Moonlight Shadow goes off. I'm not exactly sure why. I mean, we know that they're middle and they're putting some pressure into this T1. Wolf may be in some trouble here. The tower does go down. Perfection's going to come in and Phobia's going to be in a lot of trouble. Strider's here. He pops his ulti, so... And manages to pick up the kill on the next assassin. Hellhound in a lot of trouble. The sleep goes off. Perfection still doing what he can in the fight. The pounce does land on Hellhound. But 1 for 1 so far. Slark is dead. The Aegis goes off, but Strider goes down. So he might be in some trouble here. There is no mana. Do we have a net? Oh, we are going to have a net. So pretty good fight coming out from DC.Dota here. Who are... Oh no, he's used his Riptide. So run, Strider, run. And it looks like Strider's actually going to be able to make it to safety. If DeMoNiK had used his net instead of the Riptide, they may have been able to get a kill. But Naga Siren up to 3000 HP. I mean, 3000 gold, so that relic is suddenly looking a lot closer than it was a few minutes ago. Style, nothing to speak of. Treads and an Aquila. Hellhound managed to pick up that mech. It looks like he's going to go straight for that Argonums. Pac-Man has picked up some wards and is extremely poor for support at 20 minutes. Death Cookie, nothing much to speak of. Wolf as well. Just doing what he can to keep his vision up for his team. Phobia's got his arcane boots. He's about halfway to Blink Dagger if that's the route that he wants to go. Looks like VnR pressuring middle here. I think they can just spread out and farm, to be honest. They have more cores than... but I suppose you don't really want... You want to shut down the Naga's space as much as you can. She's up to 2,900 gold. I heard a swap going off. The stun's going to go from Pac-Man, and the sleep is going to keep him perfectly safe. Oh no, that's sacrificed Packy's life by turning off the... And now DeMoNiK might actually go down here. There are 5 heroes from VnR joining the fight. The Boots of Travel from Shidori coming off, and that's going to be a full butterfly coming out for him. And suddenly the pressure's on. That's killing the Naga Siren before she managed to get her relic is a huge deal. And now VnR are going to freely pressure this T2 and take it down without much of a fight whatsoever. We've got a pounce that Dark Pact casted just before the sleep, so he's going to be perfectly safe. Phobia tries to get the stun off, but misses. Perfection is just going to melt him. Wow. So the next assassin goes down again. Not sure what he was doing there, to be honest. He was on the wrong side of that team fight. And Shidori's just going to clear their jungle. He's got a full butterfly. He's doing plus 105 damage, so he's doing nearly 250 damage a hit. Combined with the presence of the Dark Lord, which is a 6 armor reduction. Yeah, he hits hard. Trust me. Shidori just maximizing his farm by using those boosted travel. He's at 206 CS at 21 minutes, and I don't think that that's going to slow down. And he's sure it's inflated because he's doing a lot of neutrals. But Strider may actually be in some trouble here. He's very close to his BKB. The net's going to go off. 14 seconds to TP. He's got some help coming down in the form of Wolf. But is he going to survive until then? Good mucking from DeMoNiK is just going to get... where's that courier going? Hello? Team? There we go. BKB out for Strider. But I think for the moment he's just wants to go back and heal. So that's exactly what's going to happen. So these supports may be in some trouble here. Yep, looks like Death Cookie's going to bite the bullet. Hellhound's going to throw down the stun, but I fear that Death Cookie is long for this world. And that's going to give Style a killing spree. So this bottom actually not doing too badly. Managed to pick up a Yasha so far. And it's now looks like it's going to be DC's turn to put some pressure on some T1 towers. VnR just have this T1, not 379 HP, awkward to pick up for this Slark, so they're going to be able to shut down one of these heroes. Maybe Julian is hanging the Ashes to make sure that the sleep doesn't go off in the fight. He's not going to have a BKB anytime soon. I really feel that they should have given the tower last hit to the Naga Siren. So important to get his relic up at 22 minutes. The longer that you wait to get this Radiance, the longer it's going to take for him to get up his core items.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Julian is saying Ash is just going to TP. Yep. DC need to get the hell out of dodge. Oh, Phobia's TP is going to be cancelled. The Carapace goes off, but I fear he's not long for this world. He's going to use his Vendetta, so Sentry goes down and Dust goes down as well. So they're going to see exactly where he is. He's racing for the T2 tower. Swap's going to go off, Stun's going to go off, and he's dead. He's going to go back to base, and the body bag is the rest of DC. The sacrificial lamb. But DC did manage to pick up that tower, so that's going to give even more gold to the Nagasar, and he's just 50 gold of his relic now. And he should be sitting at that secret shop. He should be ready sending that courier to make sure that he gets that relic before he dies again. Viper has managed to pick up his Argon Scepter, or he's going to now. He's got enough gold for it. Might have to sell his TP here. Might have to. He's going to sell his TP. Perfection extremely cheeky. Actually, farming ancients here. He might actually be caught. He's caught in the high ground, and they have vision of him. So he's going to have to ulti and TP if he wants to get out here, and he's going to make just in time. Arrow unfortunately doesn't land. Again, this lock has been quite ninja. But the Argonist pickup is going to come out for that Viper. So he, in terms of item progression, he's doing just fine. The Slark is providing a lot of space for this team. Chidori and Vengeful Spirit managing to get some work done on this tower. That's going to move the whole of DC down here, which is going to provide even more space for Luna, who's going to have a Helm of the Dominator on the way to him fairly soon. Death Cookie, he's 400 gold away from having his mech, so he's really close. I'm surprised that VnR haven't just prioritized letting him get some farm so that he can get that mech up for the next team fight. Julian and Sanjiasa has managed to pick up that relic, 400 gold in the bank. He needs to get that Radiance done so he can start getting that into Boots to Travel, into Manta style Hearts, so that he can start doing some serious damage in these fights. I feel like 1024 HP with the Shadow Fiend and the Luna, who Shadow Fiend doesn't have a beat. Oh, arrow just misses. VnR really looking for that third rush, but Strider's got the BKB, so sleep's not going to be an issue for him. Julian and Yasha is taking an extreme amount of damage. Moonlight Shadow's going to have to go off to ensure that his safety is going to be fine here. Cheeky little hits coming. Oh, huge amounts of damage coming out from the SF ulti. Julian and Yasha is going to have to sleep to get himself to safety. He doesn't have a TP, so he may still be in some trouble here. What levels that swap? Oh, just not level 2 yet, so he's going to be safe for the meantime, but it looks like VnR are just going to group up here. Chidoi's going to head towards the bottom lane. He's picked up a Helm of Dominator for himself. And VnR are looking extremely scary. Looking at the golden XP graph, still plummeting towards in favor of the Diet. 12,000 gold in favor of VnR and 20,000 experience. So they're going at almost 1,000 experience a minute. With only one hand of Midas on their team, I might point out as well. Just Chidoi, he picked up that Midas. And his net worth is actually just skyrocketing out of control. This Shadow Fiend is going to be a bigger problem than the Luna at this rate.
Yo, green dudes, something bad is happening. In your bottom. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Perfection's got 2,000 gold. It's full Satanic. They are not going to be able to kill Chidoi. He's got plus 246 damage with the Luna and the Vengeful Spirit around him. Obviously, the aura is coming out quite nicely with the souls, and VnR are going to get themselves a rush and a cheese. The vision for the Radiance is here, so they have no idea that this rush is going down. And I don't really think that they can afford to fight it. So that's going to be a third rush and a cheese going out the way of VnR at 27 minutes into the game. Cheese just lying on the floor. I think Strider's going to pick that up, and I think the Aegis went on to Shadow Fiend, who's already got 2,000 gold in the bank. He's up to almost 300 CS at the 27 minute. He's going at over 10 CS a minute. which is exactly the kind of flash farming you expect from a Shadow Fiend that's had this kind of disgusting start. Blickdagger is got to be the pickup for the Dix Assassin. Julius Sajidasha, he is extremely close to his Radiance. He really needs this Radiance. It should have it for tough times too. We've got a Skull Basher coming out from the Slock, so no Skadi just yet, which is the usual pickup for this for a Slock, but sort of go straight towards that bash. So he wants to just shut down DC as much as possible, and it looks like VnR are just going to continue to assert their map dominance by heading towards that top lane, and they're just going to push that T2 tower, and I'm not sure that there's anything that DC are going to be able to do about it. I think the best scenario that DC could do here is just to trade. They should try to trade this T2 for that T2, but unfortunately that bottom T2 was on almost nothing, so there's got to be some base pressure coming out from here, from DC.Dota, and now it looks like the pressure's on. So we've got to have a stun coming out, but isn't going to be able to do anything. The spam is going to come out on the Vengeful Spirit, who's taken some damage. Death Cookie has managed to pick up that mech, so he's got the heal there. Here a stun going off, and it looks like we've got some trouble going on here. Huge 3-man Impale from Phobia, but is it going to be enough? We've got a full Satanic on Chidori. He is taking some damage, but the amount of damage coming out of him, the Luna's Aegis does pop, and the Lich ulti goes off, but that's already Julian Sanjadasha. That's 4 heroes down from DC, who are just not able to stand up to the power of this of the damage coming out of VnR. And arrow does land on Chidori. He has used his Satanic. Is there a cheese? Sorry, the rush went off on... I've been completely lying. The rush actually went off on Chidori, because Strider had the cheese. Another arrow lands on Chidori, but Satanic is now up, so if he wants to... 2 sets of racks down, Perfection is going to get slammed by the Pac-Man's ulti, but Pac-Man's just going to get utterly destroyed, and it looks like VnR are actually going to take this. The GGL players come out from DC, so really convincing game coming out here from VnR. They looked strong from the start. They managed to get that early Roshan, which I think put them in such good stead for the early game, and the cause... I think it was just DC committing a lot of heroes to take down like a support, or the rotations coming out from DC were perhaps a little bit too much, which allowed the Slock and other heroes to get a lot of space and get a lot of farm, which ultimately led to VnR taking the victory. So this is VnR taking a win here in the Dota 2 Telkom Do Gaming League Summer League Premier Playoffs, hosted by Ace and the Steel Series. You've been listening to the sweet, sultry tones of Richard DeMoNiK Schoberg. If you've enjoyed my cast, please feel free to like and subscribe. Subscribe to me at DeMoNiK on Twitter, DeMoNiK Goes Gaming, or you can search for me at DeMoNiK on YouTube as well. I have a stream on Twitch TV, which I occasionally use, which is also DeMoNiK, and on Facebook, it's facebook.com/DeMoNiK. Hope you enjoyed the cast. Should be some more games coming out soon, and have a pleasant evening further, and don't forget to keep on gaming. See you next time.